The Powerful Ally, Episode 9 of Again My Life starts with Il Hyen on the verge of being arrested. He's tasked Wee Woo with arresting him, which he obviously feeds back to Seok Kai. The thing is, Wee Woo is smart, and knows this is just a warning. So naturally, he decides to play along, but actually arrest Il Hyen for real. In order to do that, he needs evidence. Time to work. Jin Mi's place is raided, sending Il Hyen over to Seok Kai's office where he threatens him. The thing is, it's all turned back on him when Il Hyen is arrested for accepting bribes, just after leaving the office. The arrest warrant is issued by Wee Woo. Wee Woo shows up and admits to Il Hyen in the interrogation room that he was tasked by his superiors to arrest him. He also reveals that Il Hyen is being used as a scapegoat. With Seok Kaiu out the office, Kang Jin sneaks in and transfers the files onto Seok Kaiu's computer. However, a hidden camera records his every move. Seok Kaiu shows him the footage and demands an explanation, deciding they should go and get coffee together to discuss this further. With Wee Woo ignoring calls from Seok-kun, he instead delivers a press conference regarding Il Hyen and how he was accepting bribes. He plays the crowd well, promising to investigate Il Hyen properly and diligently. This obviously reflects onto Seok-kun, who finds himself on the cusp of becoming Attorney General thanks to Wee Woo's actions. Seok-kun's initial hostility wavers with a big promotion on the table, tasking Wee Woo instead with handling every aspect of this case. In Il Hyen's absence, Seok-kun moves his puppet, Choi Kang-jin, into that role. The thing is, that may be easier said than done, given Il Hyen wants to take Choi down with him. Or does he? When Choi speaks to Il Hyen, he admits he just wants to be in the same room as Wee Woo. He tasks Choi with keeping a close eye on Wee Woo and arresting him the minute he launches an investigation without a warrant. Wee Woo is smart, though in liaising with his team, decides to go after Choi, just as scheduled. Only, he intends to do so through a celebrity voice, Jo Yeon-ah. They're aiming for a plate bargain, which the others agree would be best. She would give a strong character assessment of Choi. Yeon-ah tells her story, where she admits she agreed to be signed on with prosecutor Choi, who introduced her to a plastic surgeon. Unfortunately, she ended up becoming addicted, and because of her drug addiction and fear of being exposed, she was convinced to marry a wealthy businessman. Choi set her up, so she's urged to sue him. Wee Woo is wise to the man following him around and snapping photos. The man is not exactly subtle, but Wee Woo doesn't catch on that he knows he's there. So naturally, he decides not to rock the boat or do anything incriminating, moving between meetings and eating food with the team. The corruption with Choi goes much deeper than we initially thought. In fact, his father and SHC Entertainment have a whole list of male entertainers that are part of a big corruption to feign injuries and illnesses to get out of mandatory military service. The doctor is actually corrupt too. That night, Hyejin is attacked, prompting Wee Woo to rush in and stop him from killing the poor girl. Thankfully, she survives and is taken to the hospital. Interestingly, this puts Wee Woo in contact with Assemblyman Hwang, her father. He's a passionate supporter of taking Tae Seop down, and a powerful ally for Wee Woo to have on his side. He has a meeting with Assemblyman Hwang, revealing that he has a traitor nearby, and he needs to be careful. Wee Woo's premonition comes true the next day, when evidence against Tae Seop is turned over, and he's unable to strike the proverbial knife into the corrupt politician's rotten heart. When Tae Seop organizes a meeting with Hwang, the latter realizes the traitor is actually his own aide. He refuses to shake Tae Seop's hand too, but deliberates over Wee Woo's words, meeting him that night following the incident. Wee Woo admits that the law is his master, and he too wants to take Tae Seop down. He hands over the evidence regarding Choi, and suggests he use this, so people can see their life. Wee Woo's power and influence is growing, with Assemblyman Hwang now working on his side. Seeing the man's team grow larger is great to watch, although by this point again my life is essentially a law drama wrapped up with a tiny sprinkling of sci-fi. There's nothing wrong with that of course, and the show continues to deliver on both characterization and surprises across its runtime. There hasn't been a whole lot of conflict between Tae Seop and Wee Woo thus far too, but you can tell that the show is really teasing this to come to a head later on down the line. The ending certainly leaves things wide open, as Assemblyman Hwang looks to be a powerful ally for Wee Woo to have on his team.